How you doing? What show are we on?
Truth is viral.
The truth is viral, people. So take 2 penicillins and call me in the morning.
I am a real American. Fight for the rights of every man. I am a real American. Fight for what's right. Fight for your life. When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside, you gotta take a stand, it don't have to hide. If you hurt my friends, then you hurt my pride. I gotta be a man, I can't let it slide. I am a real American, fight for the rights of every man. I am a real American, fight for what's right, fight for your life.
Do you want your house back? Take it!
You're looking at Bob Powell and his then girlfriend. I think they're engaged now. A January 6th journalist. He was there with his camera. By the way, he's a Marine veteran, honorably discharged from the Marine Corps back in 1981. And some of his material is really, really important, I think. We'll show it to you in a moment. We had it in the earlier part of the show, but let's break it down with Bob Powell. Mr. Powell, welcome to NEWSMAX. Thanks for being here. How are you?
It's my pleasure, brother.
By the way, I understand that when that picture was taken, she was your girlfriend, and shortly thereafter, she became your fiancée. Is that true?
That very day.
January 6th. When's the wedding day?
Haven't got her to nail that down yet.
Okay.
It's coming.
Now, first things first, before we look at the video, you're wearing your helmet there. It says press on it. Were you there strictly as an observer? Were you there because what was your role?
Well, I've been a journalist since 1986. I've got a degree in journalism and a license from the FCC to operate any radio and television station in the nation. So, yeah, I was there doing my job.
But were you there also as a supporter, or were you totally neutral? Were you rooting for Trump? Were you, upset with the election? Where did you come down on any of that? And by the way, any answer is fine. You know what I mean? I've been quite clear. I'm pro-Trump. I've got concerns about the fairness of the election. Where do you come from? What standpoint, if you care to share?
I love President Trump. He's the greatest president this country's seen, even greater than Ronald Reagan. I would do anything for the man. I'd absolutely take a bullet for him. And that's why I don't mind standing up against the federal government, the FBI, when they just make stuff up and charge people with crimes. There's people still in Washington, D.C. jails right now for trespassing 9 months later. BLM last summer, they get out the same night and are never charged, right?
It's beyond outrageous. It sickens me, actually, that it's happening. Now, I'd like to show a portion of your footage. This is where we see somebody breaking a window, and then he gets arrested. And quite frankly, that's fine with me. He's breaking something, and the cops show up. Then things get a little bit weird. But first, basically, the good part. So at this point, they're effecting an arrest. And we saw that the guy was breaking the glass. And quite frankly, I don't have a problem with that. You're not supposed to break things, certainly not at Capitol Hill. So he's arrested. Then something else happened. First of all, do you concur with that? That's all.
Yep, absolutely.
All well and good, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Next, we see the police officers guarding essentially both the arrest and the window, and then they walk off. Take that full, if you don't mind. They're
okay. At this point,
away.
I had just reached the top of the Capitol steps just a few minutes earlier, and I had very little battery power on my camera, so I didn't record the order for them to displace, but I did turn my camera on and catch them leaving the window. You can see it right there. And the window has been broken, and there's a mob beating down the doors 30 feet away. if anybody had gone through that window, they would have ended up in the Senate side, just like where Ashley Babbitt was on the House side.
All right, Bob. Now here's the deal. They've walked away. There were people who were shouting, "We're going to go through that window." And even with that, they walked away. And then a very suspicious figure, after the cops leave, starts to make a bigger hole in the window. Take a look.
Circling your head, contemplating everything you ever said. Now I see the truth, I got it down.
Now, I'm standing here today telling you God's truth, speaking in the name of and with the authority of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, because I am telling you the truth. It was the FBI and not Trump supporters who led the insurrection at the Capitol on January 6th.
Take you on, headstrong to take on anyone. I know that you are wrong. Headstrong, we're headstrong. Back off, I'll take you on. Headstrong to take on anyone. I know that you are wrong, and this is not where you belong.
And then a very suspicious figure, after the cops leave, starts to make a bigger hole in the window. Take a look. Freeze it right there. Let's hold it right there. What can you tell us about that guy in the black who happens to have an earpiece in? Bob, you were there, you're up close. What do you think? Who is this guy?
Well, about a minute and a half earlier, he had asked me, why don't you guys open up the rest of it and go on inside? And I replied, because that's probably illegal. Okay, brother, you and I are both Marines. We swore the same oath. Nobody is going to go through a broken window at the United States Capitol during a riot on my watch. So this guy pulls out the window. Antifa guy tries to rush in, and I get in there with my camera. You can see if you roll that clip, I get in the way of Mr. Antifa. And then this guy.
Wait. You called him Mr. Antifa. You think
not him? You think
he's
this guy?
All right,
this guy is a federal agent.
You sure about that? How do you know?
Because I have been after the FBI for the last 9 months. I have been calling them. I have been emailing them.
Sir, I appreciate that. Bob, do me a favor, though, and I'm on your side here, but I want to know specifically, how do you know this guy is a government agent?
I provided the FBI with 29 minutes of high-definition footage of this man and another man. Not a single screenshot or frame of video has appeared on any of the FBI's websites where they're looking for people to identify.
Hey, listen, circumstantially, this does not look good, and I'm not discounting the possibility, but we don't have certainty, right?
Well, they haven't called me to ask for an interview either. They've arrested everybody that was in a mile of the Capitol Hill, Capitol Hill that day, and they refused to call me back.
I find that very strange. Very strange, Bob. Now, tell us what happens in the rest of this. Well, actually, let's watch it, and I want to see who's saying what, and somebody gets pushed. Take a look.
Do not go in there.
That was my.
Let's stop it right there. Do not go in there. Who says that?
That was my voice. That was my voice. And you can see the motion of my camera as I move to intercept. Now, as soon as the guy in the black sees my press helmet and realizes that I'm recording him, he does a complete 180. Instead of pulling out the glass and telling people to go inside, he's pushing people away because he knows that he's been caught. And Greg, 30 seconds after he gets in the scuffle with that kid, he melts off into the crowd, never to be seen again.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm glad you answered that for me because I thought for a moment it was the redheaded's words. It was yours. You're the one who says do not go in there. Why did he push that young man? Why did he push the guy in the red hair with the flag?
Because he knew that his cover had been blown. He was trying to cover his own butt. That's my take on it. I mean, why would he do that? He opens up the window 1 second, stands aside, and then 2 seconds later, after he sees that he's on camera, he changes his tune and becomes a great defender of the Capitol, right?
All right, so this is pretty interesting stuff. Very interesting. Now, who has this videotape? Well, the world has it now. It's been on television. you say you called the FBI and you gave them this material?
Yes, several times. Sent them emails. I've talked to their press. Well, I've sent emails to their press office that have never been returned. And you've been in this business probably just as long as I have. When you send an official email to any government agency, they always respond. They may respond with a no comment, okay, but they always respond every single time. I have heard nothing but crickets from the FBI and JTTF and Secret Service, everybody that I've sent this to since January 15th.
I want to ask you something else about the white. I'm looking at him right now. He's got something in his ear. A couple of things about that. I've seen government agents wear these things. We all have. The Secret Service, generally speaking, they could be white. I mean, they're often flesh color. They could be white. Those things are commercially available. But you're convinced this guy has got to be affiliated with the government.
Oh, yeah. We've been, besides everything that's gone on since January 6th, we've been around alpha males our entire lives, man. We know who's in the club and who's not. This guy was an operator. I have no doubt in my mind.
Bob Powell, photojournalist and veteran Marine. I think you're onto something here, and it is crazy that you have not been, that your correspondence has not been replied to. Have you thought about going to your congressman? Have you thought about sending a hard copy letter? Sometimes that gets their attention because there's a physical record of it.
Actually, my Congressman Jack Bergman has had this, the 1st District of Michigan has had this video since January 15th. He's done nothing about it. I've sent it to, I've gotten acknowledged receipt from Kirsten Sinema, Josh Hawley, Paul Gosar, and Louis Gohmert, Pete Sessions. And I even went to a Trump rally in Sarasota where I personally pressed a hard drive with my footage in it in the hands of Lauren Boebert and Matt Gaetz. So, I'm going all over the country. I was in New York a couple of months ago talking at one of the freedom rallies for these January 6th prisoners. I'm out there getting it done, but I'm in the trenches.
All right, hey, real quick, can I ask you this? Those cops who walk away, what's your sense? Why did they walk away? Did they just have to go to another place? I mean, I don't know if it's on them or not. I understand that they left the window exposed, but, did they have to go somewhere else? What do you make of their walking away? And let's take a look at that.
Okay, well, when they walk away, I had heard their transmission ordering them to leave that window undefended just a second earlier. If I'd had more battery power on my camera, I would have had that.
Wait, Bob, did you hear them? Did you actually hear the command say, walk away from the window? Wait, walk away from the window and leave it undefended? I can't imagine somebody saying that.
Yeah, I know that they didn't use the word undefended, but I did hear the word displaced. And what they did was instead of going over to where the crowd was at the doors there at the east entrance, they went down the front steps and went inside the building.
Something else I want to run by you real quick. Did you see that Marine who saved the baby in Afghanistan is now being hassled by the Marine Corps for appearing with President Trump at that rally in Georgia? As a Marine, I would just love to get your opinion on it real quick if you don't have 15 seconds.
Brother, between that and Lieutenant Colonel Scheller, I don't know what has happened to our beloved Marine Corps. It's breaking my heart. These politicians at the top have got to come correct. Most Ricky Tick, if they want to maintain any sense of the honor that they earn with that Eagle, Globe, and Anchor. Do you understand what I mean?
Absolutely. Bob Powell, thank you very much. Hey, let's be careful out there, okay? You know what I mean.
It's Friday. Remember, everybody deployed. Wear a red T-shirt on Fridays, guys. And go to bobpowell.blogspot.com and watch all that video. I've got 29 minutes of it. You're going to love it.
All right, bobpowell.blogspot.com. Is that what I heard?
Yes, sir. That's it.
All right. Thank you, sir. To be continued. We'll be right back.
And I don't want no one to cry, but tell them if I don't survive, I was born free. I was born free. I was born free. Born free.
Well, I'm standing here today telling you God's truth, speaking in the name of and with the authority of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because I am telling you the truth. It was the FBI and not Trump supporters who led the insurrection at the Capitol on January 6th.